This thing. Okay. Where's my one? Hello. If you're watching the playback, you can fast forward through this. I'm just trying to get my chat up and wait for some people to come on. Hopefully, some people come on. Get this muted. Someone's here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting my chat up if somebody's talking to me. I have to use my phone. Okay, my old phone to do that. So, hi Carrie, how are you? Hi Kathleen, how are you? So I decided instead of trying to film this in a, I'm going to move this, don't want to make anybody dizzy or anything, but can't see it all. Okay. So anyway, I decided that I would do this on a live instead of trying to film a video because it takes so long for my videos to upload. And I wanted to share this journal that I made. I'm doing pretty good. So Carrie's had a couple sneak peeks, and I think I sent Jan a sneak peek. But this, I've been working on this for a couple weeks now. Saw Project Share and said it's your vintage journal. Yes, it is my vintage journal. I love making journals, and I had quit making journals for a while, doing all these other things. So I got back to what I love doing. So it is made from not cardstock, chipboard. Thank you, Kathleen. It's made from chipboard, and it is covered with some cream-colored cardstock that I got at a thrift store's Martha Stewart cardstock. And it's rough on one side, and the other side's not. So I put the rough side in because I didn't like the way the texture was. So then I took paper from the English Rose Garden pad from Michael's Hot Buy that Jamie from Jamie's Crafty World sent me, and that is what I cut this image out of, and I used some, what is those things called? Paper punch from Friskers, and did the little indentations. And then I inked up the entire background though with Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink. I love that stuff. I spritzed it down with some water and got some like little water spots and some darker spots. And then this is the back. And this right here, I'll bring it closer, is a die cut from Doris. It is called chicken wire. And so I cut it, and then I cut it to pieces. And then this is pieces of napkins. Yeah, so that's how it started out. I love it. I'm going to try to sell it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I love it. So, okay, so there's more of the chicken wire. And then I took this stuff, I don't remember what it's called, made by Artsy. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera. It's silver. It's a silver paste when you open it up, and I just applied it with my finger. Hi, Deb. How are you? So I applied it with my finger to bring some silver into it, because the little piece that I have here that says journal was in silver, and I just put a piece of this lace in behind it. And then this is a Tim Holtz hitch fastener. And let's see, I don't know what else I did. I stamped with a Bo Bunny stamp that I've had my daughter and husband got me. Layered more napkins and the die cuts. Hi, my crafty journey. I'm trying to remember your first name. Sorry. Forgive me, I don't remember everybody's first name yet. And then this is the first page. And this is a piece of tracing paper. And if anyone, Susan, okay, thanks Susan for letting me know. If anybody saw my tutorial about the napkins, just an FYI, it will not work on tracing paper. So, but I did the napkin and I tried to iron it on, but it didn't work, so I took it back off and I used art glitter glue. And then I cut another butterfly out so it would match on the top and the bottom. And then I made this envelope from some of the paper from the English Rose Garden. And I left it empty so that somebody could put notes or whatever they wanted on it. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Deb. And it just slides in there. And then this is another piece of it. And I added some coffee dyed, what is that called? Coffee dyed doily. And a piece of the lace and a hand cut out flower. It's got a little eyelet, and I just realized I forgot to put the trim in there. And it's Distress Oxide on the back. So it's the first page. And I'm trying to find where I put my stamp that says, "And the story begins," because I want to stamp that right there. It's here somewhere. So then you flip it open, and I did all kinds of stenciling in it with different stencils, and this just flips up, and everything, all the paper is coffee dyed because I wanted it to be very vintage. And then I did this guest check, and I added some napkin page to that. Actually, it's 2 layers of napkin page to get the bird where I wanted it to be, and it's coffee dyed. And then this is a piece of paper from I think I got it at Joann's when they had their like real cheap paper by the sheet. And then I did a tag with some of the blue to bring the blue into it. And then this is a piece of coffee dyed paper that I did napkin technique on. Thanks, Carrie. I found this art when my daughter left for college because I went through a major empty nest thing. So, and then I did some stamping in just a couple places. I decided I liked the stenciling better, so there's a couple places that's stamped, and it's got this ledger paper. And then this I printed off of the internet, and I just edged the ink up. Hi Anna, how are you? And then it's attached to a piece of book page that was coffee dyed. And these circles come from I bought these whole aluminum pans years ago, and I just saved them. They make little circles on my stuff when I do it. And then I did a belly band out of some paper. Oh, your first one, I will tell you, your first journal, when you first do it, you will think that it is hard, but the more you do it, the better you become. The first one I was ready to throw across the floor because I was trying to sew my signatures in and everything was going crooked, and then I finally realized, you know, it's paper. You can take it all out and start again. So this envelope it was a freebie on, I believe it's Junk Journal Junkies that I got it from, and I just put this little piece of paper here that looks like a postcard. So there's that, and then this, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me get the paper pad out. it is gauze paper. So all of these pieces of paper are covered in a gauze technique, which I love it. And I'm sorry, you guys are going to probably hear my dogs go nuts. My husband is after our daughter to pick her up, and I wasn't thinking about that when I said I was going live. So that is the background, and I used a piece of paper and another little cutout I found online, fussy cut rose, and then this little tiny envelope with a little matching card. And yeah, it is really neat paper. I love it. I found it on clearance at our local craft store. And then a little ticket. So that all tucks in behind the belly band. And where did I lay my paper clip? Started getting Kathy. So anyway, so is anybody crafting tonight? Hi Tina. So that is the belly band section. Paper piece, whatever. And then I cut this out with a die cut. And then I fussy cut the rose out. Deb, you make sure you tell me if I'm out of frame, okay? Hi, Jan. And then this little tag. And there was some paper. I got this book. It's a thesaurus. I couldn't find a dictionary, so I bought it for $1. Just coffee stain paper. And then I printed this image offline. I think I found it on Pinterest. I thought it went with an English garden. I think she was so pretty. And then it's in a glassine bag. And then this is just a triangle of paper folded over to the text spot with two little girls decorating it. They're not decorating. And then I've got this little tag. It's a real thin tag, so you can write on it easily. More fussy cut roses. And that's the center of the first signature. There's 3 signatures on it, in it rather. I can't talk. And I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? Organized when I put stuff in my journals. I just put it wherever it suits my mind at. So another one of those little tags. And then this I printed off of from Pinterest. And then this is a piece of the paper from the paper pad I used. And it just flips down so that you can write in it. And it's all been, most of it's been inked up on the edges with the vintage photo. And then this one, this little pen is just, or closed, what is this thing called? Paper clip is holding that closed, and you can write in there. Why is it when you go live that you start losing your words and trying to do things that just doesn't come to you? Another piece of paper from Pinterest. And like I said, I used different stencils throughout the whole thing. And then this is a piece of book page that I made an envelope out of. But I wanted it a really ragged envelope, like it had been worn and used. And it's got some napkin decoration to it. Yeah, I lose mine when I'm not even lying to. Oh, you have pneumonia? Sorry, Kathleen. I hope you feel better. And then this Prima flower. And then I just used a piece of washi tape. And then this is a vintage, well, I made it vintage, time card. And it's got some tulle wrapped around this little piece with a little pin. And it's tied together. And there's the dogs, because there's the husband and the child. And y'all please pray for her. And then there's a torn guest check that these doctors can get her either with medication or whatever. If we have to do a procedure called an ablation or whatever. And then this is a piece of paper from the paper pad. But hopefully they'll call her within the next couple weeks from Morgantown. She goes back to school on the 12th of August. And it's a 3-hour trip there. to go pick her up, and then it'd be almost a 4-hour trip from there to take her to the doctor, so it would be a couple days adventure. So this is the second signature. Thanks, Jan, I appreciate it. And then this, you hear stories about how people do things backwards. Well, I did. I put this in upside down. So it became a tuck instead of a tuck on the bottom. Matthew is home. Yes, we're so happy about that. And then I just put this vintage map in there, and it tucks back up under there. And then this is just glued down. It's like a vintage rose I got off of Pinterest. And then this is another one of those little envelopes that I got off of, I think it was Junk Journal Junkies. And then this folds out. If I can get my fingers to hold on to it. It folds out. Move my paper so you can see. It goes a full sheet. And then you can fold it in this way and write on both sides. And then this just folds it on there with a paper clip. And then there's... I'm sorry, guys. Forgive me. That's what we have when we have 3 dogs. Girls! It doesn't do any good. I'd mute you, but I can't. Okay, this was a napkin that somebody gave me during the embellishment box swap. And so I ironed it to a piece of antique paper and put it in the book. Another glassine bag, and then this is a piece of that paper from Joann's. It got ripped, but I thought it made it look vintage. And a doily, I got this from A Tattered Dream on Etsy. And then this is a piece of 12 by 12 paper that I cut, and then I folded it up. And I put this little bird onto it with decoupage, prima flower, eyelash trim. Oh, good night. I am so sorry, Deb. I'll go back and read that post later completely, and then there's lace behind that, and then it's got this, it's like a library card, but it was in a paper stack I bought. Another little envelope. Get it apart. Just some paper that I put some vintage photo on, and then this map tag. I love layering papers. I think it just looks so neat. And then another glassine envelope and another fussy cut rose. The back side of that napkin. If you guys feel that, it feels like flat, almost like fabric. So cool how the effect that it has. And then this I cut out and made like a little frame. I don't know how we can see that. I'll bring it up closer. And it has lace in it to hold it in, and there's a rose. And then I just backed it onto some vintage paper, and then put these 2 little postcards in behind there. Thank you, Anna. And then this is an old envelope that I got some mail in, and I just folded it and I turned it into a pocket. Hi, Lisa. And then this tag I embossed with my embossing machine. And then this is just a piece of paper I stamped on. A coffee dyed note card. And then the back of that has a piece of lace in the back with some more paper. Yeah, I lost the word. Thank you, Lisa. That's the last of that signature, and then this is the third signature rather. And this flips up, This is from a stack that I bought at Tuesday morning. Hi, Susie. Another little envelope. Which one of my favorite things to do is to make envelopes. And then just an extra piece of paper for a journaling card. And then this is a cutout, or not a cutout. It is a printed off of Etsy. Thank you, Kathleen. And then it just says it has a little journaling tag behind it. It was a freebie from somewhere, I don't remember where. This is my favorite stencil. I got this, it's one of those round ones. From Dollar Tree. I took the paper off though because it was annoying me. So for $1, can't beat that. And this is printed off of Google Images. And so is this one. And then this is an extra little piece of that gauze paper just because I love the texture. Well, Deb, if I go back down there and they have, you want up, okay? And then some more coffee dyed paper, or doily. This is a piece of tracing paper. It's the only thing I didn't get coffee dyed, but I still like the tracing paper. And then this is a piece of cardstock that somehow got coffee dyed. Now this is a part of a 12 by 12 paper, and I decoupaged the napkin to, or doily to it, added this flower, my view. Excuse me. Then I did, this tag is embossed, and then it's covered with, not covered, but I went over it with Distress Oxides, and then decoupaged a little bird and a butterfly back there. And then I did stamping, and I love this tag. It says, it's a beautiful day, anything is possible. And there's just, I put lace, little triangles of lace all over it, and added the vintage photo to it. So, more paper to journal on. This poor doily was the very last thing that was, so it absorbed all of the coffee, or the tea. I don't coffee dye, it's tea. Another little mini envelope. And then this was printed off of, I think it was Google Images. It might have been Pinterest. And another one of those little jagged envelopes. And this one's got a little extra piece of the paper in there. Oh, I can't get a hold of it. Some punched out flowers from back when we did the one paper pad challenge. I punched them out and then I distressed them. And it says friend. And this was a tag that my daughter brought home from the beach on a piece of clothes, and it was real sturdy, so I took it and I put lace and an image and then put some of the paper on the back. And then this one is another one that I embossed and added vintage photo to. And then this is just an extra piece of paper to journal. And then this is the back page. Hi, Therese. More cut out roses or flowers. This is, I think, a Tim Holtz ephemera pack that I bought a long time ago. A little ticket. This is from Tsunami Rose. This one's from Bo Bunny. And then this is just a little piece of the extra paper. Is that too bright? Or is it my phone? I missed what the Glue Guns and Roses say. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love vintage. Okay, and then this is my favorite thing in the whole entire journal. This piece of paper started out as a normal piece of not cardstock, but it's heavier than normal typing paper. Put the napkin over it after I distressed the entire thing. And then the inside of it is all distressed. I wrinkled it up into a ball and folded it out and then wrinkled it up another direction and inked it all up. So I think it turned out beautiful. I love it. I love vintage. And it just goes in this glassine bag that I tea dyed. And then it's got the little hairband closure with the Tim Holtz post. And then the only thing I don't like about it, I got this one, got crooked, but that's why they call me Perfectly Imperfect Craft, right? And there's the back. So yeah, I've worked on this for about 2 weeks, something like that. So I love it. I hope you guys like it. Thank you. Vintage is probably my favorite form of journals. I like to do other stuff that is not vintage, but for journals, that's what I like. And then while we're on here, I'm going to show you what I'm working on now. It's not vintage. It's Alice in Wonderland flipbook. It says, would you like an adventure now, or shall we have our tea first? So I've been working on this tonight. I'm trying to make different things. I don't want to make all one thing to send out to everybody who participated and sent me extra goodies when they sent the swap in. So I've still got my words to print out and to put in there. And then I printed this out off of Google Images, I believe. And it goes in the little pocket. Now I can't get the pocket back open. And then it's the inside, and there's a pocket here. I've still got to make a tag before and do something on that side, and there's another pocket back here. Sorry, I forgot. It's who in the world am I? And then, oh, that's the Great Puzzle. I think that was adorable. Jan has a tutorial on her channel, Jan's Crazy Life, where she did this one night in a live. So, and then she has the original person that she got it from linked in the video. And then there's this one I'm going to put an image on. And then the back side. Curiouser and Curiouser. I got this paper off of Etsy tonight and printed it out onto cardstock. So that's what I'm working on. And yes, it's a file folder. Hey Pam, how are you? Yeah, the file folders are easier than the journals. It's a lot less time consuming and you can do a lot more in one day, but I love making my journals. I lost my train of thought. Kelly, I didn't see you come in. If I didn't say hi to anybody, just say hi again. I'm sorry. So, and then for the embellishment box swaps, I'm not going to do a separate video on what I got, because everything I did was random. So one of the ones I got was Sparkling Stars. Let me move my file folder here. And that's the paper that is in it. Oh, goodness, Kathy. One of these days I'll have fingers that don't drop everything. So everything that was in there, these are adorable. It's the travel one she did. This one's my favorite. Cute. The file folders are so easy. I love doing them. I may do a video, but I don't know, on this. And then the other one I got is from Crafty Grammy. Jan did some amazing file folders, and she did, I think she's working on one right now, or Tina's working on one right now. And this one was Crafty Grammys, so. And if somebody doesn't do videos, so you don't know who you got, you can email me, and I will tell you. I kept a list of who got what for the swap. But this was the star of the show, my journal. So, I hope you guys are having a great night. So cute, love her stuff. Yeah, so that's my thing. I showed them all the first time. I'm like, do I really need to go back and show another video? Why is it so blurry? Of what I kept. So I just thought I'd tell everybody who I kept. It's nice to see everybody open their boxes and their reactions to them, though. Thanks, Susie. It's as I think Carrie said, it's a labor of love. It's a lot of work goes into it. By the time you coffee dye those papers, or I keep saying coffee, it's tea. Tea dye the papers, and then sewing everything into it, and just. And I can't do anything simple. I have to do it. Video on you, on yours, and you got to show me how you did that. That painting with that little tool that I ripped my paper with, Susie. So that was my live, and I really don't have anything else to show. I got to go back and print some more papers for my little Alice in Wonderland thing. But again, I ask y'all to please pray for our daughter that they figure out. No, Lisa, it's not for a challenge. I just want to make some stuff for people who sent me extra things in the patchwork box swap. But yeah, please pray for our daughter that they figure out what they're going to do with her heart, whether it's just medication or if they're going to have a procedure. We do know that she's going to be sent to Morgantown to they called him an electrophysiologist up there, so the heart doctor here can't do it. So, you know, it's 21. She's too young to be having these kind of issues, and she goes back to school on the 12th. We have to drop her off on the 12th to her dorms, so. And she's had these problems off and on for 4 years or so, and they just never figured it out. She's worn heart monitors different times, but now that they put a loop recorder in her chest, and that they called yesterday and said they had found episodes of accelerated heart rate. They think she has something called SVT. Do not ask me to tell you exactly what that is. Huh? Okay, my daughter just said it's supraventricular tachycardia, but her heart will speed up to like 180 sitting still. And so they kept saying, oh, she's having panic attacks, or oh, it's just the caffeine, or it's this, it's that. So finally she came home from school this in May, and they told her, she came to work and she got sick, and I made my husband take her to the hospital, and they sent her to a cardiologist, a different cardiologist, because the first cardiologist she seen 4 years ago told her, "You're fat, don't be, you'll be okay." Never wanted to deck somebody so bad in my life. But he said he knew what it was, but he had to have proof, have, documentation of it. So finally answers. Thank God for that. Sorry to spread all that out to y'all, but yes, Lisa, he was a total jerk. When they called from he's in the same cardiologist's office. They all are here in town. They asked her if she wanted to see him again, and she's like, no. They couldn't pay you enough. My husband's doing pretty good. His leg is healed up. He's just a little sore, He has a lot of problems, so just glad. He says his wife being one of them, ha ha ha. But anyway, yeah, he's doing pretty good. So I thank God for that too. Now, if my legs would quit swelling, we'd all be terrific. Yeah, my husband says to me, he goes, "We now have in my house," because I listen to Tina and Jan all the time. He goes, "I have a problem. Dan's crazy wife met Jan's crazy life and Tina's crafty life, and now it's an almighty crazy life." So, and he hears Jan's song and he's like, "Yep, know who she's going to be talking to." But anyway, I'm going to get back off here and talk to my daughter. She just got home from work a little while ago, and see what's going on with her. Dan's leg didn't ooze when he had the cellulitis. Oh, I'm not changing my channel name. My channel name fits me perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. Everything I do has some imperfection in it. You may not see it, but I know I do. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Good heavens. Yeah. Yeah, Dan's leg when he ooze, his was what they called dry cellulitis. It was just spreading around his leg. It was really red, really hot. And it started, he has psoriasis, and it started, and bacteria got into one of the psoriasis things. So, but I'm glad he's doing better. But anyway. Yeah, I've never had it. I just seen his leg. It was hard for him to walk on it. Yeah, Lisa, he's been through the ringer. Lung problems. The only problem he doesn't have that I know of is heart problems. He has high blood pressure, but again, he says his biggest problem's me. Anyway. Do what? Yeah, my daughter said it's probably the dogs, because they love him and they torment him all the time. So. Oh yeah, he's teasing me. He's yes, he is diabetic. He has diabetes. He has COPD. He has chronic kidney removed 10% of his kidney 2 years ago. He has no thyroid. They removed it because they thought it was cancerous. Turned out not to be, thank God. He had a carcinoid tumor in his stomach, so we've been going for 2 years to have that checked. Has 3 bulging discs in his lower back that are inoperable because of his lungs. Psoriasis. I don't know. I have his whole list. I just print it out every time I go to the doctor. But he has a good attitude, and that's the best thing. It's a good attitude. So it's a fun life. We'll be married 23 years this year. So, and our daughter will be 21, and we found out when she that he was sick. So, hey, phone is buffering now, so I'm going to have to get off here, I think. Nah, I can't get rid of him. I wouldn't trade him. I'm spoiled. He makes my coffee every morning. He does. Since he's on disability now, so he stays home. He does the laundry, does the dishes. I do the cooking, but he does most everything else that needs done. So I get all kinds of time to craft. And if I want to go get something, he takes me to go get it. So I'm very spoiled, and I love him. We may not have the perfect life, but it is the best life together. So he is a very good dude. His mother told me that he was her best child. Out of 8 children, he was the best child. Yeah, I don't have to have the best of everything. I don't live in a mansion. My house is not perfect, but I have my husband, I have my daughter, and I have my dogs, and I have my crafty friends. Hi, Gloria. It's fun. We go. Our travel consists of hospitals, and we joke and say we collect hospitals like most people collect souvenirs, but you know, it's all about being able to laugh in the moment. So
We make the hospital trips into little trips, though, not just the hospital.
yeah, oh yeah, I turn the hospital trips and the doctor's trips into shopping trips after they're all done. So anyway, y'all probably thinking I'm nuts now. Hey Jamie, how are you? So sweet. Remind me to tell you about when my husband made me coffee. Okay, I will do that. If you don't have a great attitude or an attitude that you have to look over the bad stuff with life, because otherwise you're just going to be an unhappy, miserable person. And I don't want to be an unhappy, miserable person. So take it in stride and step forward. Keep on going. I don't think God wants any of us to be happy and miserable people. It just makes for a long day. Trust me, I work with a lot of them. But so what do you guys think of the little this thing? Alice in Wonderland. Goodness gracious. See, I lose my words when I get on live. Look okay. All right. We have a beagle over here who is so afraid because she got stung when we were out of town one time. So you can literally feel her shaking across the floor some days. It's cute, but the journal is wild. What's your favorite besides Tinkerbell? I love Tinkerbell. I'm going to do one with Snoopy, but I can't hardly find any kind of Snoopy ephemera or anything to make it with, because Snoopy is I love Snoopy and I love Peanuts, and so I thought that would be so cool to do a flip book to pass out with my favorite character in it. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have Snoopy stuff. I found on Etsy, but I didn't like it. It wasn't very good. Maybe I'll just have to find some old Snoopy comic strips and use those. But anyway, wrapping paper and greeting cards. Yeah, true. I got the Alice in Wonderland. I got those from Google Images, but the paper that it's all on is a collection from Etsy. Hey Dana, how are you? You still still traveling? What are you eating?
Pizza.
Ah, my daughters bring pizza in here.
This is Giorno. You don't like.
Oh no, I don't like
It's just a
Giorno.
crust, though. And this pizza is a lot smaller than I expected.
But that's where I get it at. Jan's trained us well. Google Images, Google Images, Google Images. So it's not turning out too bad. South Dakota. Yeah, I saw some of your pictures. They're amazing. I don't travel very well. You see my journal, Dana? It's my labor of love. It's taken me 2 weeks to get it all done. That's why I was having trouble with the girls just want to have sun thing, because my brain kept going back to this. Rewatch for those that just came in. The journal's gorgeous. Deb, thank you. I appreciate that. It was definitely an adventure. Yeah, you want me to flip through it? Bleh. Flip through it again, Dana? I won't go into quite as much detail. Move this out of the way. This is a tracing paper that I turned into a pocket. And if you do the ironing on with the napkins like I showed, it doesn't work on tracing paper. You'll have to glue it down. An envelope that I made fits in the pocket. And then I cut out another piece of the napkin for the butterfly so that it lined up. And then made a tag out of this. This is from the English Rose Garden collection from Michaels that Jamie sent me. So just fussy cut. And I just made the ephemera. Yep, that paper is my favorite paper pad. If I could go to Michael's anytime and they have it, I think I'd even pay full price for it. Little envelope I made with napkin. And then a tag. And then I stenciled on the papers. Is it getting pixelated or is it just me? And then just some images I printed from Google and Pinterest. On a belly band. And then this is this paper. It's called gauze paper. So everything on it has that finish. And then I just made a little pocket on it and stuck some tickets in a little mini envelope. And then this is an envelope. I think I got it from Junk Journal Junkies. I decided I'm not hoarding paper anymore, Deb, but paperclip and me are not getting along tonight. I had never seen it either. We was going through Pat Catan's, which is local here in Ohio, and they had it on clearance for $3, so I grabbed it. You have two. Is that no? That's not a bad thing because that paper is beautiful. And then I cut this out with a die cut, and then added some lace and some trim. What's it called? Eyelash trim, and then a little ticket, or not ticket, tag. And then printed her off of Google Images and just backed her onto a piece of cardstock and put it on a glassine bag. And then I printed that one too. Yeah, it is a lot of work, but I love it. And then I just used a piece of paper, made it like a triangle. So I'm not a big graphic 45 person. The only one I'd like to have is the one called The Secret Garden. If I ever find a copy of The Secret Garden, the book, I will buy that and make myself a journal. It's my favorite book. So just book pages, and then this flips up. I like Authentique a lot better. And I've made it so you could write it. And that's from Google Images or Pinterest, I can't remember which. And then this was just a freebie. So pretty. So I did a lot of printing since I got my new. Kaiser Craft is good. I don't know what it is about graphic 45. It's not my thing. And that's weird because I love vintagey stuff, and they do a lot of vintage. And I'm not a big fan. Name of it. It'll come to me later. This was printed off of Google Images. I think that's my problem with it, Susie. It seems like everything goes back to the way it was. You know, everything looks the same to me, so that's why I'm not a big fan of it. I love 49 and Market stuff. Yeah. I haven't gotten it yet, but I love it. And then this is made out of a book page, and I made it into what? An envelope. Let me put something in. And this is... Good night, Kathleen. Thanks for coming by. A partial guest check. An old... I got these from Tsunami Rose on Etsy. And then I just distressed it all up. I even put somebody's name on there. I can't even read it now, to make it look like it was from my dad's era. And that was first signature. 49 and Market is amazing. And some of their stamps. You leaving us, Pam? Another envelope, and then I just put this vintage map in there. It's not vintage, but it looks vintage, you know what I mean? And I put this in the book upside down. Check it out. It reminds me a lot of Prima, and I think maybe it's from the same line, but another printout. Okay, so, and then this is another one of those little envelopes that I printed off of the internet. And then this flips out, and it flips all the way back the other way, so you get a full page. And it's just held in there by that envelope and a clothespin. Why do I keep calling it a clothespin? Paperclip. And then this is napkin that I ironed to a piece of paper. One of my favorite techniques. This is from a single sheet of paper from Joann Fabrics on a glassine bag. This was from Tsunami Rose. Not Tsunami Rose, I'm sorry. A Tattered Dream. And then this is a piece of 12 by 12 that I trimmed the edges on. You're fine, Jan, you're fine. A little envelope, and it's got just a couple pieces of paper that I edged up. A little map thing. Tag, rather. And then this is from a paper stack. Just remember, it does not work on tracing paper, so don't try that. It won't stay. It works on every other kind of paper I've tried. I've never tried parchment paper, but I'm sure it wouldn't stay on there either. More fussy cut images, flowers. I'm going to try to sell this journal, yes. I have I have 5 journals now made. Yeah, the cling wrap, that's what I mean. You can't do the tracing paper and then do the cling wrap on it. It will peel back off of the tracing paper, but it works on every other kind of paper. And then this is a die cut where I cut the other die cut out, I kept the border, and then put lace in it. I don't know if I'm doing a release. My friend wants to take them to a craft show that she does every fall. Last year she sold, I think, 4 of my journals for me there. 3 or 4 of them. So I'm not sure yet. I don't have an Etsy shop. And I'm a chicken to start one. So, and then this is an envelope from a mail. And I covered it and did, why am I having issues? Vintage photo around the edges. And then I lined it with lace. So if you can see that. I'm thinking $50 because it was a lot of work. And then I did embossing on that. I think it turned out, it's probably one of my favorite ones I've done. This one and the pink one. I don't know. Did you guys see the pink one with the lace? And more envelopes. I'm asking questions people are thinking. And then this I got off of Etsy. No, not Etsy. Why did I say Etsy? Goodness gracious. Night, Lisa. Thanks for coming. Bye. You think you think it's a fair price? Got this off of Google Images. Got myself distracted. And that came off of Pinterest. And then this is, you can see that gauze paper. The detail in it is so cool. I love it. If they had a 12 by 12, I would have probably bought the 12 by 12. It's like you get the gauze effect and you don't have to be the one stretching it out. Susie needs to buy her one for her mom for one for Christmas. If I hold it and I get home, consider it sold, cat. Oh, thanks, Dina. And then this is decoupage. And then filled with napkins. This is my favorite tag, Dina. It's a beautiful day. Anything is possible. Give me a minute and I'll pull the pink one out. And then I have one that's kind of southwestern. I have one that has a vintage lady on the front. This was decoupage. Not decoupage. Oh my gosh. Smack me.
Okay.
Make another one just like it. LOL. I can try, Deb. I don't know if I can get it exactly, but. And then another one of those pieces of book paper turned into a folder or a pocket with this tag. I love this tag. My daughter brought home, I think it was a t-shirt or sweatshirt. And I just added lace to it, put some stuff on it. And that tag that you brought home.
Oh, Coastal Edge.
And I added paper to the back of it. And then this was run through a, what is it called? Embossing machine. And then this is extra piece of paper. And then this is the best part. This is my favorite thing in the whole journal. This paper. And I rolled it up in a ball. I took it out. I rolled it up in a ball again. I de-stressed it with oxide ink. Then I ironed a napkin to it. Then I tore some of the napkin off. And then in the inside of it. Yeah, I do custom ones. You just have to let me know what you want, Dana. Give me a second and I'll go grab one. It's across the room. This one is 5 signatures. Whoa, sorry. Hope that didn't make anybody dizzy. This is the monster, as I call it. Signatures. It's cardstock. It's pink and lace. There's the spine. And there's the back. This one does not have a closure on it because it looked too pretty just standing there. But it's got all the, whatever those things are called, appliques. And then inside, yes, they're all available. We can have a journal showing. You want me to grab the rest?
You got all night?
I have a gnat flying in front of me from somewhere. I made these pockets on the live one night. And then this one's probably going to be about $70 to $75 at least. Because everything in it is pretty much handmade. Live the life you imagine. And they're these little hidden paper clips. Yeah, I'll hold anything for you until you get the money if somebody's wanting it. None of these papers are coffee dyed, but I have spritzed some of them with what is this called? Glimmer, not glimmer sprays, just inks. And tag. No way would you want to use this. See, I think that once you start adding to them and putting written word into them, it just brings more beauty out to them to me. And it's just a little matte. This was a piece of the paper from the cover. I'm going to flip it back. This cover, how it was blank. This was the cutoff piece, and I colored it all in and added liquid pearl. Sorry, not glossy accents. And then it's just got a little tag underneath there. Note card. And this has got side tags. Sorry, I'm probably out of frame. It's got butterflies and flowers. And yeah, Deb, this one has everything you like in it. See, like this one's yellow. I put yellow spray. Made it myself. And this one is making magic. What a beautiful day. Make it happen. This collection, I can't think right now what it's called. that I use for the paper. This is one of my favorite tags that I've ever made. Envelope paper for you to add to. Another hidden paper clip, just as hello, so you can hide something under it. Paper bag. And then another belly band that says thanks, love, with just another big journaling card. Doily. Matching tag. Deb, I have just been putting journal cards in all the pockets and belly bands. Yeah. I love the hidden. I can't remember whose tutorial I saw now, but I love the hidden paper clips. This one took me a while too. It probably took me a good 2 weeks. And this has just got some Project Lives. Do what? Are you mine because the idea that I finish it, I get to get a new one. Yeah, exactly, Jan. And then that's just a big pocket. Another belly band. It's been a while since I looked at this one. The other side of the paper bag with just paper in it. This one is a tag, but I made it into a tuck spot. This matted journal card. So you could put photos in this. You could put anything in it. Another journaling tag. You'd have to use a white pen on that one. This is a envelope. The other side of it holding that tag on. Another little pocket. And this is some of that antique paper. I know you're an insert girl. I like the inserts too. I've been trying to get some leather. I want to make my actual own traveler's notebook cover, but I haven't found any that I like. So, another hidden. I love this paper clip. This one, I think this one turned out adorable. You contact me, okay. Sounds good to me. So many reasons to be happy. See, it's my theory in life. It's really something to be happy about. More journaling space. It's got huge pockets. There's a pocket, big pocket in the center of every signature of this one. And this is a pocket. And this one has, it's called Tack It Over and Over Again. So I put a piece of packing tape right there so it wouldn't tear the paper. And then it's got a journaling tag. Yeah, I could do a December daily book for you. And then there's that. All these are matted. The more, yeah, see, for me, I think December daily needs to be more plain paper so that you can add what you want to it for that day instead of so decorated. Yeah, because if you put all the bells and whistles in, and you're just covering the bells and whistles up when you put what you've done for that day in there. That's how I think about December daily. But if you contact me, Anna, you can tell me what you want in it, and I will do it. I have a lot of time on my hands in the winter, especially. And then this is one of the ATC cards I made. I just thought it went well with that page. I've thought about doing a tutorial, but I'm not good at tutorials so much because I get lost in what I'm doing and I forget to tell you what I'm doing or what to do. I'll tell you, I really did. My first journal, I felt like throwing across the room because sewing the signatures in made me want to cry. I stuck the needle in my finger, you name it, and I did it. It was traumatic, but I'm like, I can do this. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna tap into her dark side. I have a custom order that my good friend from work is wanting. She wants steampunk. But she wants it huge, like she wants it album size, and I can do a little bit of steampunk, but I'm not a big steampunk person, so I'm struggled with it. And she keeps telling me, she goes, whatever, just whatever. I like steampunk, but I don't know. I think what she calls steampunk and what I see as steampunk is two different things. And then this is just a big envelope that goes up. Dana, you want to hear a funny story? When I was doing the drawings to pull out everybody's embellishment boxes to mail out to them, guess whose name I pulled out of the thing when it came to yours? I pulled I looked at my husband and I laughed and I said, wouldn't that be hilarious? She carried it around all over the country to end up getting it back. Like I was gonna put in there and say, I missed you, Dana. So that's the pink one. And then, but like I said, there's 3 or 4 more in my other room in the closet because I keep them all in a gallon Ziploc bags so that they all stay clean and nobody smokes in my house. We do have a wood stove. Yours beat the postman here with my envelope, so you got 2 back. Or, yeah, I think 2. No, that's not the journal. That's a book that I did. But anyway. Cheryl. Thanks, Tina. But I still think this one's my favorite. So. Yeah, you and Gloria both got here like within a day of each other, and it was like 2 or 3 days later before I ever got envelopes. Leave mine out so the wood. Well, I sit right in front of the wood stove in the wintertime when I'm crafting, so I try not to get any smoke on anything, but I will when I get it done, Tina. I have this fear in the back of my head that I'm going to end up just throwing it away and going, no, I don't like this. But she gave me this whole bag of, a whole bag of jewelry pieces and clock pieces and that she wants me to incorporate, not all of it, but some of it. And that is where I got the little metal piece that I used on the front of that journal. I grew up with a wood stove, Dana. When I was little, our house, which is actually the house I grew up in, is next door to us. We had a wood stove in every room of our house, because the center part of the house was an old log cabin. What's in which project, Gloria? But we had, we even had, the bathroom had one because we had no other source of heat in the entire house. We had a propane tank that ran the hot water tank. And we had a propane tank for the cook stove, as my mom called it, the cook stove in the kitchen that she cooked on. It was the only heat in the house. I mean, I remember waking up in the morning and the only heat in the house would be in the living room, or the mom and dad's bedroom. Your package should be back to your house by then. I mailed them out. Most people have already gotten them. I don't know about the next challenge. I'm working on trying to get journals made up for my craft show, and now it seems like custom orders. So, Gloria, so I'm not sure what the next challenge will be. Tina has a swap going on with stamped images. That's the only other one I know of right now. Sandra and can't think who else has one with IC cards, but I don't remember all the details. We have my brother. It's not unusual for us to come home, Susie, and he's been on the roof and he's cleaned out the stovepipe and everything. But when I was a kid, we'd wake up and there'd be ice in the, because we didn't have running water either. We were living the epitome of the poor West Virginian here. And the water buckets in in the kitchen would be frozen. One time we didn't get out of bed all day, my niece and I, because my mom said it was too cold. It was like 15, 20 below outside. Yeah, my brother has some kind of chimney cleaner tool thing or something, and he gets up there and
Basically wire brush.
it's like a wire brush that cleans it out. So yeah, we got running water in the house when I was 12 years old, 10 to 12 years old. I remember having to carry rainwater, and yeah, but I don't complain. It taught me a lot. We had gardens. My dad had a greenhouse. It's a farm life. Hi, Teresa. Probably the worst thing about growing up that way was going after the cows, because they didn't want to come home. My uncle used a logging chain down their built-in fireplace. Yeah, I see my grandpa do that. They lived next, about half a mile away from us, maybe not even quite a half a mile. And he would clean it out that way. I only remember us having one horse, and yeah, he was an escape artist. But we had cows. We had chickens. We raised chickens by the hundreds. No, we raised meat chickens by the hundreds when I was growing up. And then we had pigs, geese, ducks, dogs was at one time that ran the farm. And cats. We always had cats in the barn. Okay, thanks for coming by, Dana. I appreciate it. So yeah, you all learned a lot about me tonight. Whether you wanted to or not. Your farms aren't easy. I remember one time our pigs got out. Now that was an interesting fiasco. To help the farms in Germany. Oh, that's right. You were in Germany. Yeah. A lot of our farm was gardens. We had 1, 2, 3. We had about 8 gardens growing up. My dad just everywhere he could find a flat spot, he was putting a garden. It was interesting. He even rented property about 2 miles, maybe 3, from a man, and we raised sweet potatoes there. Because he was known for his sweet potatoes. Hey, Sandra. Yeah, my dad raised like 15 different varieties of sweet potatoes. Yeah, I couldn't go back to what we did when I was young. Yeah, we had a pond too, where the ducks and stuff would go to. Yeah, people came from miles away just to buy his sweet potato plants, Susie. I mean, and Jamie, it was crazy. And his tomato plants, he had a greenhouse, but when I say greenhouse, he would not raise flowers. And when some lady asked him for flowers, he says, "You can't eat flowers, they just look pretty." He didn't think you needed to raise pretty things. You need to worry about feeding your family and taking care of that kind of stuff. He was very practical. My mom asked him to plant flowers one day, and he looked at her and said, "Old woman, I don't know what you want them daggone things for. All we're going to have to do is water them." Yeah, the rain, we grow old-fashioned corn beans, and the rain has just, they didn't do anything this year. Our potatoes are big. We've gotten some nice potatoes out of there. And the sweet corn is amazing. But with my husband's health and I can't do the heat, so my brothers take care of most of it, and my one brother, he's not healthy at all, so it's a very small garden in comparison to what it usually is. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. This is the longest live I think I've ever done. So I appreciate everybody who came through and was chatting with me. And yeah, anybody who wants a custom ordered journal, just email me and we'll get the specifics down and I'll see what I can do. It's been fun. You're welcome, Deb. I'm glad everybody came by. It's kind of it's interesting. I find more friends on Facebook, on YouTube than I find in my own world anymore. Sandra, I'm sorry. Did you not get my text that I was on? I like lives too, so. But I need to get off here and print off some more stuff for this little journal or little Alice in Wonderland thing, so I can get it done and get it into the stack of things to do. So, all right. Well, I will talk to you all later. Thanks. Bye. Have a good night.